The JERD Nation Podcast.
We're going to talk about sitcom goats. Can be your personal goat, all-time goat, just however you want to address it. Mark, what's your Seinfeld goat?
Oh, gosh.
Seinfeld goat. Freudian slip. Mark, what is your sitcom goat?
Oh, gosh.
Well, we know what yours is.
Y'all are probably going to laugh your asses off at me, but I watched it all the time religiously when I was a kid and still to like my preteen years. Saved by the Bell.
Yep. Oh, I love Saved by the Bell.
Yep.
Zach
Definitely.
Morris is the greatest thing to ever grace the internet.
Mark, were you a Kelly or a Lisa or a Jesse?
Actually,
or Tori.
Or a Screech.
Kelly.
Kelly all day.
Screech, baby.
I was a Tori fan because she had that kind of that badass type chick to her. I was always attracted to that one.
And you got to add Leah Remini too before she got real big with King and Queens.
Oh yeah,
she was in the whole beach thing, the beach episodes.
That chick who Zach dated when they was at the beach.
Caruso.
Yeah, Stacey Caruso.
My personal goat is Frasier, because I feel like it was way ahead of its time. It still holds up. And I'm picking Frasier because I know somebody else will say Seinfeld, but there's talks about bringing it back now, which I think it would do just as well now as it did when it was on TV. And Frasier, that character went from one sitcom to another sitcom, and so it shows how brilliant the character actually was, the character of Frasier Crane. What always cracked me up about Frasier was, it's such a smart show that even people would hear the theme song and have no idea what the hell he was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like that theme song, like if you don't know what he's talking about, or you have no clue what, I hear the blues are calling, toss salad and scrambled eggs. It's like, a lot of people don't know what the hell that means. So that's what I liked about it. It was a really smart comedy. I don't know. I might actually put it over Seinfeld for just rewatchability. Tim, what's your sitcom goat?
My personal favorite. Good God, kid, hang on.
Hey, you don't.
Here, take it. Get out of here.
Go drink your Pepsi.
He said, "Good God, Mommy's kid, Pepsi." But I'm with Mark as personal favorite because I watched it all. I watched every season over and over and over again. Saved by the Bell. I grew up with it. I love it. Kelly Kapowski guy. There's nobody else like her. Even now, when she's older and thicker, I love her. And and another one. I guess I'm gonna have to put Cheers up there. I love Cheers. That show went 11 seasons. That's a good run. Shows now today are considered successful if they go past 3 seasons because they won't go long. They don't have the longevity now, but I guess because there's so many shows.
Aren't lasting as long as they used to either. They're like 12 episodes and there's a new season.
Yeah, I mean there's so many shows though, like compared to back in the day. As far as Cheers goes, I love it because you can relate to almost every character. It makes you want to go to that bar every day and just shoot the bull with Norm and Cliff and Sam Malone and Coach before Coach died. Man, I love that show, dude. It's a fantastic show, and I think it kind of still holds up.
Cody, what's your sitcom goat?
I would say for me, my favorite, and I think there's still a case for it, at least up until the cast change, I would say 2.5 Men. I love 2.5 Men. I think the rewatch value on that is endless, man. I have the Peacock streaming app, and I'll put it on to watch till I fall asleep. And literally, it's always on TV, and I always put it on no matter how many times I've seen it. But I just don't think that there's that many characters out in TV that are like Charlie was.
Right. Oh no.
But
Just
I was
Charlie
like,
being Charlie.
that show was when that
yeah,
show-
exactly. That's what makes it gold. Is like
when-
it's
when
just
that-
Charlie Sheen being Charlie Sheen.
when
but-
that show was coming out, my dad was like, "You remind me of him." I was like, "Who?" Because I had never seen the show. He was like, "Watch 2.5 Men." I was like, "Why?" So I'm watching the show. I'm like, "How do I remind you of him?" And it's because he get all the girls to come over to the house. Because I used to always have girls over at our house. And he was like, "You remind me of him." And I was like, "That's a horrible thing to say to your
This
son."
is a sitcom. This is a sitcom discussion, not a self plug. I would say either. I would say 2.5 Men and Fresh Prince. But as far as the GOAT, I mean, it's got to be Seinfeld. I think that's kind of like universal. Most people would say, but I think that 2.5 Men has a case to be the GOAT up until they got Ashton Kutcher in there.
Seinfeld was so much like a modern day like Sanford and Son or Archie Bunker, like where it made fun of everything you can make fun of, kind of like South Park. Everything you can make fun of, they made fun of.
What's
And-
up with that?
And it's just so funny because, like, you know, the society we live in now, man, Seinfeld would never make it past a season or two. Never.
I like Charlie Sheen, man. Like I've liked him ever since I saw Major League.
Oh yeah, he's
Wild thing.
You made
Man.
the thing.
You should watch him in The Wraith. Then that's a good movie.
Or
The
from
Wraith is, oh, dude, The Wraith is a great movie. Great movie.
What you
Courtney.
I got like 5.
God.
Well, we can talk. Let's talk about them because we've only hit on a few.
Well, for one, Good Time should be in there somewhere.
Yes.
Oh, I remember watching
Yes.
that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love this show. I don't know why, but that show just was so funny to me. Like they would try so hard to get out of the ghetto, but the mom would just be like, "No, that's not the right way to do it." And it's like they constantly were going through it. Then JJ with the whole dynamite thing.
Yeah.
What's his name? Is it John Amos that was on that?
Yeah.
I mean, dude, anything that man was in was gold. Anything he was
Yeah.
in, it was gold.
Guys, I forgot one.
Offshoot of Go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say the Bernie Mac show.
I don't get me started with that. I think he had the best show out of any King of Comedy.
You don't like Bernie Mac, Sam?
I said he had the best show out of the Kings of Comedy.
I'm not
I
talking
never
to you,
got-
Courtney. Is your name Sam?
Oh, I didn't hear no guys.
I just never got into it.
I didn't either.
It never was something I watched regularly.
Now, the second show is Martin. That show still holds up to me to this day.
Marvin or who? Martin. Martin.
That's a good one too.
Now, yeah.
Now, y'all might be surprised at this one, but
Oh, dude,
No,
that show was money.
Third Rock from the Sun is quite possibly one of the greatest.
That was our high school days, so Sammy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude.
Morgan.
Man, I forgot about that show.
Yeah,
God, that was
I know.
so good. John Lithgow
Morgan-
was so great.
Morgan's favorite sitcom is How I Met Your Mother.
I never got into that.
Well-
I could never get into that one.
Well, Morgan's a narc, so.
I'd say another one that was really good, and then I talked crap about it when it first came out. When I actually watched it, I loved it. Was that 70s show?
It is a really good show.
It
It
is.
really is. Like, and towards the end, it gets kind of blah, but like the first 7 or 8 years, oh my god, that's
You had
The
a
Rock
stellar
on there.
Yeah, you had a stellar cast. That cast couldn't have been any better because they tried to do that 80s show and with Brittany Daniel, and
and it didn't
two
even last
episodes.
3 episodes. Like,
two, that's it.
and that was it. And it was like it just all fell together. Like with Donna's parents being dumb and Red being who he is.
Oh, he's the best.
Throw The Office in there just because it was
I've
so
tried-
uncomfortably
Parks and
funny.
Rec. Parks
I've-
and Rec.
I've tried, Sammy, but somebody told me that you needed to give it 3 or 4 episodes for The Office to really get in there and just be drunk.
Oh,
Drawn in.
I love The Office.
I loved it
It's so
for
funny.
episode 1.
I like Parks and I might be more partial to Parks and Rec. I just think that Andy, Chris Pratt's character in that
Yeah.
show, is so funny. It's just Chris Pratt being himself.
Speaking
And
of
of course. Go ahead, Mark.
speaking of Ashton Kutcher, did y'all ever watch the ranch on
Oh, yes.
That's a great show. That's a great show.
Elliot in it. That was probably hands down the funniest I've ever, one of the funniest ones I've ever watched, and I actually laughed out loud. I mean, it was, yeah.
That show was genius, and I hate all the crap with
Rooster.
yeah. What's
Danny
the actor's-
Masters.
Yeah, thank you. I hope he is clear, and if he does get clear, they need to get right back to it, man, because they did leave it open to the point where you don't really know if he died or not.
Well, the ranch is actually coming to an end. You got another half a season coming out, and then it'll be over. So
It's
it'll
on
be gone.
Netflix.
Yeah.
It's already out and gone.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's been out. That's been out a long time ago.
Television gold.
Vicky Lawrence, man, Vicky Lawrence.
That whole like, the crazy thing is like she wasn't even supposed to be the main character, and like she just blew up.
No, it was the other lady.
Carol
It was
Burnett.
Carol Burnett, man. Yeah, Tim Conway.
And they said that Carol Burnett is actually older than her.
Yeah.
That is insane. How they
Well, you know, guys, don't let any of that distract you from the fact that in 1966, Al Bundy scored 4 touchdowns in a single game playing
Yes.
for Polk High School. So
Yes.
that may be one of the best misogynistic characters ever
Oh
written.
my God! There was one he said. They said, you said, medium, the size between small and you.
I mean that's a show that would not fly today at
That
all.
would not even make it past production. Like,
No. I mean, it's so like, and it still holds up. It's still
It
so
does.
funny.
and the crazy thing is, like the first few episodes, he's not even like that. It just kind of gradually grew into that.
Yeah, I feel the same way about Home Improvement. Home Improvement was a great sitcom, and then even now with Tim Allen doing the Last Man Standing, he hasn't lost his touch on anything he acts in.
But I think there's another Home Improvement. They're like a reboot or something.
Some things just don't need
Morgan
to
Taylor.
like
That's exactly right, Courtney. Some things just need to be just leave it alone.
just
Like
leave it alone and let
just
it
leave it
stay
alone.
time. Like nobody was asking for Roseanne to come back. Like nobody. Like she said that dumb shit. The whole like you cost all those people that money.
Well, and here's the thing. Well, and here's the thing about Roseanne. Like,
She's always been that way, though.
She's
I'm
always
not-
been
I'm-
shitty.
Well,
Which
I'm
is
not.
true.
I'm not even talking about her shadiness. I'm just talking about the show. The way the original show ended was the best way any show could have ever ended,
Yeah,
and they just completely ruined it by bringing it back.
I
mean,
agree.
Her side,
John
because I mean, when you find out that Dan died and she was writing a book and they didn't win the lottery, and like when you find out that all that was just a book, like, man, like I don't know, like I still think about that, and it's like, man, like how endearing that show was back in the day. It just, I don't know. I was so pissed when they brought that back. It's just something that shouldn't have even been touched. Just leave it where it is.
With Roseanne, how did that end? I can't remember.
The original thing with Roseanne was that the very first episode for her birthday, they built her a writing room in the basement. And at the end of the last season, everything that you watched was in her book. And you find out that Darlene had married a guy that was like Mark, and that Becky had married a guy that was like David. Dan died of a heart attack, and they never won the lottery. That was just a wishful situation in her book.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I still remember that because it was so like it was like shit,
And when you bring a show like that back, it takes away
it
from
takes
that.
away the whole thing.
Well, especially bringing John Goodman back because like everybody loved Dan, and
Dead. Like I thought he died in real life.
Oh
Yeah.
no, he's still around.
Like I ain't seen him since like freaking Flintstones. Like
I haven't seen him since Monsters Inc.
or
Oh, yeah.
to the nerds, you just got your asses whipped by a bunch of goddamn nerds.
all right,